In 1972, a small group of MIT scientists published a report commissioned by the Club of Rome called The Limits to Growth. Within it, they described a trajectory towards the breakdown of human systems sometime around the middle of the 21st century. We're living in that trajectory right now. Some people can feel it. Others deny it. Most are simply trying to survive it without even realizing why life is so hard. Collapse may be frightening, but it also asks the most important question humanity has ever faced. What kind of world comes next? And who will become the people capable of building it? Good morning, and welcome to the Morning Breath live stream, where we begin our day with Coherence. I'm your host, Jeremy Tennell, systems designer, coherence coach, and fellow traveler in the work of becoming more fully human. Before we go further, take a moment to support the work. Like, subscribe, follow this live stream. If today's conversation resonates with you, I'd love to hear your reflections in the comments. These conversations become richer because of your participation. Today begins week 1, day 1 of our 12-week journey entitled Zoetic Order, the Future of Human Systems. Over the next 3 months, we're going to explore one question that may define the future of our species. How do we evolve in authenticity and life in an increasingly artificial world? Over the past several years, I've spent thousands of hours studying complexity science, systems thinking, organizational behavior, philosophy, ecology, neuroscience, indigenous systems, and now artificial intelligence. One of the realizations that I keep returning to is that we've become incredibly good at building systems, but we've forgotten how to cultivate life. We've optimized productivity and engineered efficiency. We've accelerated information, yet anxiety rises. And as we descend into a pandemic of loneliness, ecological collapse accelerates and meaning continues to erode. Somehow we become surrounded by more technology than ever before, while feeling less connected than ever before. I don't believe our crisis is political or economic or technological. Those are symptoms. I believe our deepest crisis is that we'd forgotten what life itself is asking of us. That realization eventually became the seed for something I've begun calling Zoetics. The word Zoetics comes from the Greek word zo, which refers to living, vital, generative life. Not simply biological existence, nor merely just surviving, but life that continually creates more life. Life that regenerates and participates. Today, we often measure success by accumulation. More money, greater followers, more influence, deeper productivity. But nature measures success differently. A forest isn't successful because one tree grows taller than the others. A forest is successful because the entire ecosystem becomes more capable of sustaining life. That distinction changes everything. Zoetics asks us to shift from asking, how do I succeed, to asking, how do I become someone through whom life flourishes? This isn't positive thinking. This isn't self-help. It's not another productivity framework. It's a different orientation towards life itself, a new paradigm, one where every decision creates conditions for life or diminishes them. Artificial intelligence is rapidly becoming capable of performing many of the tasks we once believed made us uniquely human. It can write, reason, design, analyze. It can compose music and generate art. Perhaps someday it will even surpass us across most cognitive tasks. If intelligence alone is no longer what distinguishes us, what does? Presence? Compassion? What about wisdom? Or our capacity for relationship? How about responsibility, meaning making, love? The ability that creates trust, the courage to sacrifice for generations we'll never meet. Those remain profoundly human. Zoetics is not a rejection of AI. It is a reminder that technology should amplify life, not replace it. Our future depends less upon building smarter machines and more upon becoming wiser humans. Zoetics is the hollow fractal expansion of complex adaptive systems theory as it applies to individual responsibility and accountability. Complex adaptive systems teaches us that everything is interconnected. Hollow fractal thinking extends this further. Every individual reflects the whole. Every action ripples across scales. Every moment of coherence becomes information the system can reorganize around. That means transformation doesn't begin out there. It begins right here, in our own nervous system, inside our own relationships, inside the choices we make today. When we become more coherent, our families become more coherent, organizations become more coherent, communities become more coherent. Human systems evolve one relationship at a time. Our culture has become obsessed with prediction. Everyone wants to know what's going to happen next. Will AI replace us? Will economies collapse? Will democracies survive? Will climate change reshape civilization? These are important questions. Perhaps not the first question. The first question is, who must we become regardless of what happens? Because no matter which future unfolds, the quality of our participation will matter. History rarely changes because someone predicted the future correctly. History changes because enough people chose to embody a different future before everyone else could see it. This is the invitation of the Zoetic order. Today isn't about learning a new concept. It isn't about accepting an invitation. For the next 12 weeks, I invite you to become a student of life itself, to notice what creates vitality, to notice what diminishes it, to become someone who leaves every relationship, every room, every conversation, every organization, and every ecosystem that you are a part of more alive than you found it. Because perhaps the future won't be determined by those with the greatest intelligence, but by those who most faithfully cultivate life. I invite you today to spend some time with a journal. It's an important part of this process of transformation. Ask yourself and explore these questions. Write them at the top of the page. Where in my life am I merely existing instead of truly thriving? And if my daily choices were creating the future, one small decision at a time, what future am I currently building? Let's dive into a breath practice for about 5 or 6 minutes. We do this every day, and we do it because intentional breath in which we are connecting our cognitive centers, which include the million neurons in our gut and the 50,000 neurons that are in our heart and the trillion neurons that are in our brain, all connected by the vagus nerve. They can be engaged with intentionally through breath. Dozens and dozens of studies in the past few years have shown us that breath is the key to engaging our autonomic nervous system in a way in which we become the pilots, the drivers of our intention, our will, our lives. So let's practice for just a few moments today, every day. That's the real point behind our daily practice here at 6 a.m. Find a comfortable seat. Let's take a big inhale through our nose and exhale all your breath through your mouth. Again. Now let's find a rhythm of about 5 or 6 seconds with an inhale of about 5 seconds and an exhale with about 5 or 6 seconds. Again. Again. Maintain that pattern. Relax your face, relax your brow, relax your jaw. Relax your shoulders. Place a hand over your heart. Maintain your breath. As you continue your breath pattern, I want you to begin a gratitude list in your mind. You can occupy your mind with this as you continue breathing 5 or 6 seconds in, 5 or 6 seconds out. I am thankful for today. I am thankful for the sunrise. I am thankful for the birds chirping. I am thankful for the opportunities that today brings. I am thankful for my support system. Now you continue the pattern of breath and gratitude for just a few minutes. Hold this space. If you become distracted, return to your breath, return to your gratitude. Maintain those two things. And I think you'll find when we're done here in a minute that it'll be quite life-changing. Stay with it. This is where the benefits begin. Let's take a deep breath in. Exhale. Return to this space. One more. If this conversation and this practice gave you something to reflect upon, I'd love for you to join again tomorrow morning. Share this episode with someone. I'll have it edited and ready to go in just a few hours. Share this with someone who's been asking deeper questions about the future. And if you're walking this journey with me, subscribe and become a part of the growing community. Learning to cultivate life-centered futures together is our path forward. Until tomorrow, remember, take a breath. The future isn't something we inherit. It's something we become.